What is up, friends? I am JW Rader. I am a real estate agent with eXp Realty, and I'm talking about everybody's favorite subject today, which is interest rates. Obviously, if you've seen the news, if you've been home shopping, if you pay attention to anything at all real estate related, you know that interest rates have climbed. We're now up over 7%. They're going the other way compared to where we thought they'd be going, this time this year. Um, and I guess my whole point of hopping on to say anything about this is I hate the narrative around rates and really around the real estate market in general, which is always, being pushed by professionals within the real estate industry, which is to say, hey, now's the best time, or, prices are going to skyrocket once rates come down, or whatever the case may be. And some of those things may be true. And if you're paying attention to, the fundamentals of what's going on in a real estate market, I think, there are opportunities, for savvy folks to come in, whether they be investors or, just homeowners. But by and large, I think the thought process I have always had around homeownership is it never makes sense unless it makes sense for you. That is to say, timing the market, buying because rates are low and prices are supposed to go up. I just don't fundamentally like that as a strategy for most folks, because this, as we were proved, when we had COVID come around, we just don't know what's coming down the pike. So my advice, as always, to buyers, sellers, whoever the case may be, your move, except in very rare circumstances, should be necessitated by a burning desire to have a new home, a true need to have a new home, whether that's more space, whatever that case may be. Um, that's when you should really be addressing this, not because, hey, the market says I ought to be doing X, Y, or Z. These decisions are so personal and they vary so much from person to person, whether or not it's a good idea. Are you going to be in the home for a year? Probably not the best time to buy, guys, because we have too much uncertainty in the market. You're probably better off renting. And I know from a real estate agent that sounds odd, but there is risk involved in this market. Whereas, 5 years ago, you could be in a home for a year and still come out with positive equity on the other side. That's not the case with this market, or at least we don't know that to be the case. So my thought process is, for those of you who are interested in buying, yes, there is opportunity out there. You do see a lot less competition than what we maybe had 2 or 3 years ago on homes, because you have fewer buyers willing to pay some of these more exorbitant interest rates. For sellers, you probably have a little less competition too, because a lot of folks are sitting there on their 3%, maybe even lower in the high twos, those interest rates, and they're saying, I'm not moving and giving that up. So there's opportunity there as well. Whatever the case, though, I'm not going to sit here and say blanket statement, hey, now is the best time ever to buy or sell real estate, because that is just not fundamentally what I believe in. Rather, what I believe is, when the time is right for you, you should consult with a professional or do whatever research that you need to do to feel comfortable that it's the right next step to take. Because odds are, if you're buying in today's market, you're going to be paying a little bit higher rate for a little while. Of course, you'll refinance when the rates come down, but you really have to take a look at it for your individual situation. Now, one thing I do want to mention, if you've stuck around this long, there are opportunities out there for buyers to assume loans, buy down points so they can pay a lower interest rate. And on a case by case basis, I think those are things that we should really be looking at to better serve buyers and to better take advantage of a market that does have its intricacies right now. As always, I'm here to answer questions specific to you. There is no blanket, this is how it works in real estate. That's just not the way it goes. There are too many individual scenarios that come into play. If I can answer or help you, guide you through whatever those individual scenarios are for you, I'm always so happy to do so and to be a resource in any way I can. Thanks for listening.